So, welcome to Mind Shifters Radio, and today is Thursday, April the 23rd, 2026. Welcome to the show. Kathy's coming in. So, I put a link into the chat room where you can listen to the interview that they did on me and the book. It's on the On Your Mind podcast. That link is actually on our YouTube channel. And tomorrow is the Amazon release of the printed book. They hold back for 6 weeks from the time that it's released on ebook, I guess, to see what the demand is, since Amazon does a print on demand. And so they want to see what kind of interest is in the book so that they can know how many to print and have in stock and things like that. But the release date is really important as far as the algorithm for Amazon is. So I think everybody's already ordered one, but you can go out and do a review, and that helps add to the release date algorithm as well. So if you've not done a review, if you would go out to Amazon tomorrow and do that, I would appreciate it. That would help. And I'll say, welcome, Kathy. Welcome, Sally. Andrea and I were just chit-chatting, and Michael will be with us here in a moment. How are you ladies doing? Kathy, I know you can't comment on your phone, but Sally, how are you? Are you in yoga again today? Okay, Sally says
I
she'll write a
am
review.
I am in a place where I'm mostly going to listen, but I will write a review. I love your book. I love sharing it, and so I celebrate you in this
Thank you.
launch.
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting. I did send an email out to everybody on our mailing list so that requesting that they do that. And I do have I guess you'd call it a beta version. I did the audio of the book, and so I haven't listened to it myself to see if it caught any glitches. It's through a program called 11 Reader, and you have to spend you put like 2 hours, 3 hours of your voice into their system, and then they do the audio book. And I thought I sounded just like me. Michael's part, the forward and the afterward, I actually pulled from his actual reading off the radio show. So that is really Michael reading his parts. But the rest of the book is 11 readers' version of my voice reading it. And like I said, I haven't listened to it yet to see. But if you want that, drop me a line at Jeanie, Jeanie, at whyagain.org, and I'll send it to you. So, hello, Natalie. Haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing, young lady? Are you at a place you can unmute and say hi?
There it is.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Thank
Love it.
you.
Love it. Looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look that hair.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, I haven't talked to you in a long time. Did you know my book was published?
No. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I heard about it, but I don't know that I ever actually went and bought it or looked at it, honestly, because, not always as diligent as I could be.
Well, it's been on ebook. I've had printed copies that I've sent out, but Amazon's just had it on ebook. But tomorrow is their release date. And
Oh,
so, as many people as can buy and review tomorrow, that would be great. It'd kick me up in their algorithm.
yeah. I need you.
But
Can you send me a link?
sure,
Yeah.
be
That
glad
way
to.
I can go do that.
Appreciate it.
I've
Yeah.
got. I'll share it with my friends and tell them to bump it up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. How have you been doing?
Good. Everything's pretty good. Yeah, I
Are
think
you
I'm
still
going,
in Florida?
I am. I think I'm going through a little healing crisis.
Oh, take a breath.
I know
Let
it's
us
good.
let us support you.
It's good. It's good. It's just been coming on, and I know it's there, and I'm conscious and aware and just, yeah, I needed some support.
Okay. You want to give us a synopsis or so we can help you?
Um, I don't know. I'm just starting to like actually figure it out myself. So I'm not
Well,
sure. I think s- something around loneliness and the it's yeah.
so the first thing that popped up when you said loneliness was loss. Is there some kind of loss of relationship or loss of a purpose or
No, I think I'm finally just realizing that we're all so alone, you know? I think I'm just finally realizing that we're all so alone, and I've just been pushing that away because I was so alone in my childhood.
mm,
And I just think I decided that I really liked that, and that's who I was. And even though I have all all the people that I need in my life, I think I've just kind of chosen to be alone. And just kind of realizing where all that's coming from, I think.
and
Um,
well, one of the things I talk about in the book is, things that we take on, beliefs and disintegrative thoughts about ourselves as a child, and that carries through with us until we look at it
yeah.
and do the forgiveness work around it. But you're never alone.
No,
You've
I
got
mean, yes, you're not. We're not, but we can feel like it.
and
Even
so
if we're
it's
not, even if we have the best, most supportive, loving people around us, that, yeah, we're not alone, but we can feel like it sometimes.
so why would you choose to be alone? You said it's from your childhood and
Yeah.
being alone then, but is there
Well,
a
I mean,
payoff for it?
I'm not really like alone in the sense that I'm just sitting here by myself all the time. I don't mean it like that. I have a really great friend group, and I have a really, we're all very much involved in trying to understand ourselves. So don't mean I'm alone in the sense that, like, I'm just sitting here by myself. I think it's more like,
Take a breath.
I'm just starting to like do this. I haven't even done a worksheet or anything. I'm just starting to try to like assimilate all of the parts and pieces of it.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's like the sense that you're alone because you're hiding the parts of you that you don't feel are worthy, maybe,
Yeah.
if that
Thought
makes sense.
disorders.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thought disorders.
yeah,
Sounds like you're letting
exactly.
yourself touch into some of the thought disorders about yourself and
Yeah.
about relationships that need to be forgiven. And one of the things I'd suggest doing, if you go back and listen to the last 2 days of shows, we really talked about cultivating relationship with that inner presence where real fulfillment is. And then worksheets around those thought disorders about something wrong with me, I don't deserve, whatever all the dynamics are. We breathe
Or
with
that
you
I
all the
do
space.
deserve to feel alone. Or
Why
that
would that be?
I have to be comfortable being alone because I have no choice. I think that would be it for me because I was literally grounded all the time as a babysitting tool. So I was literally alone. I had we always lived in neighborhoods where there were hardly any kids. And then I was always somehow managing to get grounded, so I had to stay in my room all day by myself. Um,
Sounds
and
like it
so
ties into
I
being
built
used
up,
as well.
pardon?
Sounds like it ties into thought disorders around being used.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Well, as a babysitting tool, grounded. That's
Oh no,
we've
I
got
was
you.
grounded so that I didn't have to be seen or heard or need a babysitter.
see.
Yeah. It wasn't like I was being used as a babysitter. It was
Yeah, I got
like,
it.
you're grounded, go to your room, don't come out. As a tool. I mean, for weeks on end on time periods, like not just like a day or something, to where I was like really isolated, like third grade person with an eighth grade reading level, because that's all I could do is read. So,
So it sounds then like where you're heading, the work that you're getting ready to do is work around codependence and power person dynamics.
that's the only thing I've ever done any work on. That's
Sounds like the next layer.
my codependence.
Well, more specifically, the power person dynamic. I don't know if you've gone through the codependent. I don't remember whether you've done the codependence intensive or not. We've done an online self-guided work on codependence, interdependence, communication. But in the codependence workshop, we introduce what we call a power person. And a power
Yeah.
person is a person who, there were three things that happened to instill a power person dynamic in a person's mind. And that one is that the power person had more power over your life than you did. Two, they were not functioning as love. And three, you perceived the interactions with them as survival. When that occurs, and it's usually between a parent and a child, although not always, then that child in that state, when those three things occur, literally energetically, when you think of us being energy fields, we open our energy field and we become literally like a sponge for every energy that's in the environment, every even unspoken energies we absorb. And once those things are absorbed, literally for the rest of one's life, until that's uncovered and resolved, there are really only three behaviors possible, literally, for the rest of a person's life if this is never faced. And those three behaviors relate to the levels of stress you're under. So I suspect that probably you're finding yourself under more stress than you've been recently, and that's what's triggering this. But when there's little or no stress, what we'll do is the mind, the automatic decision system in the mind, will prompt us to do what we did to get along with our power person. When stress starts to build, we'll tend to move into doing what we did to resist and survive with our power person. And then when we become ultra stressed, we'll do what our power person did to us that we hated the most. And that can include messages like you're giving yourself about what you deserve. And if you play that out, then they're the issues that's the core of what needs to be forgiven in order to be freed of the behaviors and the sensations tied back to your interaction with your power person. And we have actually, we did 2 online codependence to interdependence intensives. There was 2 that were supposed to be 14 weeks each, but the second one, because of the depth of the power person worksheet that I've worked with for up until that intensive for the last 25 years, has been 1 page. And because of the intensity of tapping into that in our second online codependence to interdependence intensive, that worksheet grew from 1 page to where now it's 19 pages. So we now
Yeah.
have a worksheet called Power Person Worksheet, where you look and you go in and you take apart the dynamics of that most impactful relationship of our lives. And so I'd suggest that you grab that and go to work. Does that sounds like what you're up for healing?
Yes. Trying. Yes. I want to.
And we'll be here holding the space, and any support you need, any questions you have along the way, that's what we're here for.
Is that worksheet? Excuse me. Is that worksheet on the website?
It is, but Jeannie's probably already got a link in her hand in her computer that she's going to paste in
There she's doing it.
the notes. And by the way, I did paste in a link. Jeannie had gone through and read the whole book, Healing Generations One Breath at a Time. And so I posted, for anybody that might want to listen to it, I posted a set of links to those radio shows so you can actually hear Jeanie read the book to you.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
She
yeah, it was
sent me some
powerful.
links. Yeah, for those of us who have hard times focusing on words. Ah,
Breathing with you.
The link to the Power Person 19-page worksheet is in the notes.
thank you. It's in which notes in the Zoom meeting?
Yeah, in the chat room.
I don't know how to work any of this yet, but I'll figure it out.
If you look down at the center bottom of the screen, you'll see a little square that says chat. You click on that, it'll open a different window. And that's
Okay.
where you'll see the links that I just put in and the link that Jeanie just put into the 19-page.
Yep, I see it.
Cool.
Great. I have a printer. I think I'll print it out. I can read it. Actually, in a place it's hard to do things on the computer sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And writing is definitely a better way,
Yeah.
especially with that one.
Yep.
It goes so deep. It really looks at every dynamic on, it's literally the most impactful and most important relationship in our lives in terms of keeping us locked in is that power person. And so
Yep.
that's why, I mean, literally just about every worksheet we've got is, a page or two, or our communication worksheet is now, I think, 6 pages or 3 pages. But that's the only one that goes that deep.
Yeah, I've done the single page power person worksheet, but
Right.
this one's a little bit different level up.
This is going to take you to a whole other level. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just barely glancing at it and I see that. Yeah.
Cool. And if you're ready to take it to still a whole other level, you can go to the website and we did 2 back-to-back codependence intensives, and that resulted in 98 hours of video work where we did why is this happening to me again, healing through relationships, codependence to independence and communication. Did you hear what I think I said? Mind shifters and still point breathing. So we did both intensives, all the teaching, all the question answer, all the processing. And then we had a young lady who came to an intensive about a year ago that was really ready to teach and take the work forward. And as a result of her desire to teach, we invited her to do a facilitation of that codependence intensive that we put out there as a self-guided piece of work. And she went through, and I'm not even sure how many hours, but I think another 50 hours of online video work where she literally facilitated the whole codependence to interdependence with Jeanie and my support. So there's
Oh,
150 plus hours available.
wow. And that's on the
Video.
website?
It's on the website. Yeah.
And what's it under?
And do you have a link to the codependence self-guided work?
I'll put it out there.
You're so
Cool.
precious. That's great. Because Jeanie knows where everything is.
I mean, that website is over 20,000 pages. We're up to almost 3,000 videos on our YouTube channel. That's all Jeanie's work.
There's the ebook. And she sent me the link as well.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
Honored and delighted. And as it unfolds, any questions? We're here 5 days a week, and that's exactly why we're doing this show.
Love it. Is
Everything's
Tim still
supported.
doing the show sometimes?
No, Tim is has left doing the Mind Shifters radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
A lot of time. All right. Oh, wait. There's one new one.
All right. Rocking forward. Any support we can be.
Thank you. I love you guys.
All right. Appreciate you. Blessings.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Okay. And how's everybody else doing? Anyone have anything to share? Anything to move forward?
If nobody has anything, I had a comment on one of the YouTube videos.
Yes.
It was from the 2 days that you were doing the Rukadakucha and the Shakinta.
Jacinta?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to say a couple of his words wrong. It says, no, we're getting a feedback. It's interesting. Over the weekend, I was discussing electricity. Hold on a minute. And wait till Michael gets in the other room there because it's feed. Okay. He says, it's interesting. Over the weekend, I was discussing electricity in the human brain and neural pathways and such. What happens when you have a stored energetic dynamic that does not belong? It needs cleared. It has not been allowed to run its course and exit the system. So if you have an electrical fault in the house, the electrical fault needs cleared before you can reset the fuse. Once the breaker is reset, you have access to those circuits again in the brain that were dormant. Without clearing the fault to ground, you cannot touch a live circuit. Fear and hostility will bite you. Even if main power has shut off, if there is a stored electrical charge that does not belong, it still needs cleared before the equipment is usable again. So, your pulse theory certainly can work. There are those new battery chargers that claim to repair batteries. I think it has something to do with this sulfication, and it emits a pulse into the battery and desulfates the plates. I don't understand that, but plus I think of as lightning flashes from east
That
unto
would be the
west.
equivalent of forgiveness.
Yeah, that he's flipping back and
Desulfication.
forth between the breath and forgiveness and an actual physical circuit in the house. So I thought it was a good comparison.
It's
Plus, I
all
think
it's right on track.
plus I think of as lightning flashes from east to west. It's something that's rapid and happens very fast, like a pulse would be repairing something. That's the end of it. I thought that was good comparison though.
Right on track, absolutely. And one of the things that I was shown this morning as I was breathing, over the years, and the medical training that I would do, there's a term that was spoken of as a therapeutic pulse, and that was just a given in my medical training, and it was after we completed the last 2 days on the Shakinta, the breath, and how they're linked, and the pulsing in the body as a result of that repair that's happening. And again, in the medical training, it was simply called a therapeutic pulse. And now I'm realizing that this morning what I was shown as I was doing my still point practice was this is literally this therapeutic pulse is what in the ancient Aramaic was referred to as the Shakinta. That it is the impact of the breath coming in and doing restorative work on a tissue level. And it was just, I'd never put the two together as I was, bringing forward this idea of the Shakinta, but these pulses are literally that therapeutic pulse, and it's recognized in the medical world, but it's not recognized for what it really is. So for me, that was a nice little piece of the puzzle to touch into. So how's everybody doing? Andrea, welcome. We haven't seen you in a while. And Natalie, of course, it's awesome to have you here too. Sally, Kathy. Anything exciting to report for you, Andrea? What's happening in your world? Have you guys started the support group yet, working with the workbook from Jeanie?
No, I haven't. There's a lot of moving parts in my world right now, in a really good way.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just allowing what wants to unfold. There's more surrender and a deeper presence that I've been able to settle into. And what's been really coming through for me lately is in this presence and surrender that's really been illuminating itself, that there's this clarity on the divine blueprint that is coming so clear, that's so effortless, and it's clearing basically what doesn't belong, what isn't the truth, and keep walking forward. So I'm in this space of just allowing the inspiration to come outside of like that experience of forcing, and trying to find a balance there between the forcing, having action and intention, and also moving from the being instead of what I previously mentioned.
Right.
So we'll see what wants to unfold and move through. And through that, there's been a lot of physical healing and emotional healing, and just really been present with myself and what's wanting to move through.
That's awesome. Have you, and my offering would be the thing that's going to keep that all in balance and moving forward is just staying connected with that breath,
Mm-hmm.
keeping that breath moving.
Mm-hmm.
As you've been going through this new level, have you been noticing any physical pulses happening in your structure?
Mm. You know, at times there's some shift in moving. I wouldn't say pulsing. There's a lot of layers of density that are like throughout the day clearing just a little. It's very subtle
Right.
through the, it shows up for me through whiplash and other physical issues that have been present. So I feel like I'm still in the density of it,
Hmm?
but at a pace that feels manageable. And
Nice.
because I feel like those pulses come when there's like the deepest surrender
Yes.
outside of those layers. And I'm not quite there yet. Not with what's moving through.
Well, my input would be that just as you keep the breath moving, and what I had shared on the show the last couple of days is that what I've realized, and you remember in the intuitive totem, we talked about the Shekinah, this indwelling presence,
Mhm.
and that there are two separate words, the Shekinah being the indwelling presence of the Creator, the lived presence of love, and then there's Rukutukucha, the breath, that literally brings the divine energy into physiology. And what became clear to me is that we, with our minds, we separate those two things as though they're two different things. But the fact is, they're just one. Our mind separates them. It's like, I used the example on the show yesterday or the day before. We've got a tube, and on this end of the tube, you say, well, here's the right-hand side of the tube, and of course the left-hand side's over there. So there are two, but they're really one tube. There's a singular. And when we can experience it as a singularity, even in the world of physics, a singularity means a whole new state, a whole new power, and to allow those two to be unified and And in that state, as you really let yourself tune into be with the pulses, they will tend to become more noticeable. And what you'll find is each time that they move, there's information there. And if you just really breathe into them and spend time with those pulses, they'll feed you all kinds of new insight.
Mm.
It's just like a whole different level for me. And that's just been coming into my experience recently. So if you have the space, you might want to listen to the last 2 days' shows. We went into that in a fairly significant amount of detail.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling magnetized to connect to that.
Sweet. Well, anything else exciting happening in your world?
Mm, I'm I'm working, which feels really good. Uh, I got a really beautiful job at a therapeutic community.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, so it feels really, really good and exciting. I just, yeah, it has a right feeling to it. And
Mm,
so it shifted a lot for me. There's a lot of ways that my world has had to shift. Um, and kind of feels like a Tetris shift that things just moved and shifted and it feels slow but right. And the waves that are coming up are the volume has turned down, which is really nice because the healing waves were so dysregulating before.
right. Well, it sounds like you've gone through the heavier layers. And as the layers get subtler, they definitely get easier. Until, of course, you hit that next new peak of vitality, and then boom, if you're lucky, the next big layer comes up, and
Yeah.
that's where massive amounts of things move so quickly.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know what that's like.
yes,
Yeah, so that's about it moving through my world. I guess that's not it. There's been a really big family pattern that is really magnified. Like my family ancestral history on both sides is of family members that, well, this pattern, I mean, not family members, but the pattern of survival that creates dynamics of like scamming, manipulation. I don't know how to exactly name them, but it's got this deep fear of survival that motivates you to do things out of integrity. And as my finances have been shifting, I've really been watching that pattern like want to come alive through me. So I've been doing lots of worksheets around the fear and terror and like afraid there won't be enough and of being in poverty, and that pattern has come up and it's been really intense. It feels really deep, intense
well, it
in the
sounds
way
like one of
that
those
it's
generational issues that you're going to just have to clear out physiologically.
okay. Can you tell me more about that? Like with the breath, you mean?
Well, with the breath, with of course each and every one of the tools, but from what you shared, the poverty that has in the past been generational in your family system and in the communities that you've lived in, uh, that energetically those the thought disorders behind that level of poverty are going to have to surface and be forgiven in order to allow a new level of creative energy to flow through you and create the kind of abundance and reward that you're experiencing, for instance, in this therapeutic community that you're seeing the fruit of your labor that, oh, it's coming to me. And each time you hit a new level of vitality with that, the next layer of thought disorders are going to have to surface for healing and for forgiveness.
Mm,
And the fact that, I still think back to that particular session where you had 3 generations of your family, pardon me, 4 generations of your family on that one session in the codependence facilitated session that Susan did. That's just like monumental that your grandmother was there and so support and breathing, and your mother was there support breathing, and you're doing the work, and your daughter's there part of the process. I mean, that's pretty huge.
hmm
And so just remember that we'll breathe with you, and let, as you become more vital and more connected, and if you've got a therapeutic community like the one you're working in, that's certainly going to vitalize you again on another level energetically. And each time you are vitalized, you get to breathe through another layer and throw off the old thought disorders that come from, how long was that poverty, and the fact that here you are shifting the whole game for the whole family system it's pretty profound.
mm. Yeah, and another curiosity comes up when you do make a mistake, because I did, and I've just been doing worksheets around it. Um, what else can I do when I make a mistake out of fear and I act out of my own integrity? It was for a moment I went into so much fear, and I'm like, I feel like I can't undo it to clean it up. Um,
Just by bringing awareness to it, you've started to clean it up.
I want to
Now
clean it up
there might
fully so it doesn't come back and bite me.
right. So there might be some thought disorders around condemnation, attack,
Punishment.
loss, punishment, right? Yeah, people attacking you for that. And so all of those corollary thought disorders that, when resonated into activity, incline you, that automatic decision kicks in and says, oh, I have to do this, even though it's out of integrity, because, and there are all the things that support it. So just make sure that you're breathing. You should let each of those pieces come up. You're clear. It wasn't your choice. It was a decision, and it came up powerfully enough that it grabbed you by the face and ran you. And so can you be gentle with yourself and recognize that wasn't my choice. Yes, I made the decision and I did the thing that was out of integrity. And guess what? I can apply forgiveness to myself in that regard, of guilt, of fear, of whatever all the dynamics are. And just gently remember that for something to come up that powerfully, there are a lot of unconscious, energetic links, files, so to speak, key to it. And they all need to be cleared out.
Yeah.
And so just be gentle with yourself as you allow each piece to come up. Oh, why did I do that? Well, blah, 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 blah. Here are all the pieces. And uh, make sure that the number one thing you do is that you remember who you are,
Mhm.
and allow yourself. What's interesting is that there's an interesting thought in the Course in Miracles, and that is that the ego believes only in sin. There are no mistakes. Sin, that's it. It's like, oh, we're done. And just be gentle enough to go, okay, I made a mistake. Yep, I was off the mark. I was engaged in sin, and that's okay, because I'm in enough integrity that I'm cleaning that up, and I'm not perfect. I don't have to be. I
Mhm.
can be gentle with myself. I can take responsibility. I can do responsibility communication and clean it up and move forward. And the next time a circumstance comes that would have triggered that into activity, that old poverty mindset in the family system, it'll be energetically it will be 1/10 the strength of what it was prior to doing your work around it.
Right.
And when you choose to change those dynamics, they don't disappear overnight. So just
Mm-hmm.
remember to take care of yourself and be gentle as you go through it.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
safe and healing to not be perfect.
Well, I've definitely been working through a lot of worksheets, and I would love to be able to go back and just be in my integrity and, share like, oh, wow, I went into fear there. And that wasn't the exact truth that I shared with you. And I would love to be able to own that. And if I do, that institution will actually punish me. So I
Okay.
feel
So,
stuck.
right. So the mind can't tell the difference between real and imagined experience. And
Uh,
if it's not safe to go to that institution and do that, in your mind's eye, follow through as though you were going to that institution. Notice everything that resonates in you as you do the cleanup and the makeup. If
okay.
it's not safe or reasonable to do it in the actual world, do it in your mind anyway. Imagine you're going in the front door of the institution. You're going to sit face to face with the person who's involved, and you can lay it out there. Do that in your mind and free yourself of breathe and free yourself of that energy, and you'll be freeing your physiology.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. That's super helpful.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, glad things are rocking on for you, and really delighted that to hear that you got that job and that you're physiologically and emotionally able to step forward and be of support in that community. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. I wondered, well, I have hope, and I wondered if you and Jeannie have ever considered doing the show, like, because I think your time, it's 3 hours ahead of us.
Yes, we are.
Uh, Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing an evening show instead of the morning so I can attend?
We have, and we've been doing it this time now for 15 years, so
Okay.
not likely it's going to change, but I'll put that in the hopper.
Okay, great.
I'll put that in the hopper.
Awesome.
As we also have people on the other end of the scale in Europe that are 6 and 7 hours ahead as well. So it's
Right.
part of what had us select this 1 o'clock time frame
Gotcha.
way back when. How are your daughter, your mom, and your grandmother doing?
My granny just turned 90, so we had a big
Good for her.
family celebration. Yeah, it was beautiful. And my mom is really excited. Her relationship with my sister has just opened right up.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so good.
That
Um,
is awesome. I know that was a major deal. So congratulations on that one, Mom.
yeah. And my daughter is well. She is nomadic, so she'll be leaving soon. But she moved out. She was here for 5 months, and we live in 700 square feet. There's five of us, and her bedroom was the living room, and she moved out
Right.
because
I remember that.
we were banging heads, and um, we had a really beautiful conversation the other night where we came to talk about what was present and like the conflicts that have been erupting and um like on her part. And we went to talk and she got upset right away and pulled back, and I said, like, I don't really know what to do. We're in a pattern, and I don't know how to move forward from here. But it was not representing it accurately. We had a really good conversation of like in more of a surrendered state of like, okay, we keep coming up against the same things. And
But
we
it
don't
sounds
know.
like this time you came up against it consciously.
Yeah. Like
That's a big step forward.
I was moving out of reaction, which is big for me. And her emotions come up so big and so strong. They're not even about the event, but she doesn't know that yet. And but she's still in the habit of projecting it at me and blaming me. So I've just been breathing through it because I don't want to react. That's what's been available for me so far. And she kind of goes off, but anytime I try and get close to her, like I say, can I give you a hug? Can I, it looks like what you're experiencing is really big. Can I support you? And then she pulls away, leaves, has these types of behaviors. But what's been really impactful for me is that that's what I used to do. Anytime somebody tried to get close to me, I was gone.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this time, I feel calm and resourced just to allow what needs to be here to witness it. And I've learned so much about who I am and how I've kept people from getting anywhere near me. So I feel like in this time, there isn't anything to do. It's just to keep allowing it and witnessing it from a space of love and acceptance. And I feel like her and I got to deepen into this space the other day of like acceptance that this is here right now and it's not forever. And, I talked to her about getting third party help, maybe through you or a counselor, because I'm in a position where she's, I feel like I'm coming up on saying a bit of a boundary. I've done responsibility communication every time she's been able to listen because I'm watching me play out in front of me through
Right.
her.
Yeah. Smoke and mirrors.
Oh, yeah. And I've sat there and said, honey, can you hold the space for this for a minute? And said, like, I really see how I had big emotions as you were growing up, and I didn't know what to do with them. And I projected them all over you guys. You spilled milk, you did something. I, emotionally vomited or erupted on you guys. And I'm so sorry. And I've done that over and over in different ways. What I could feel was resonating in the moment. And I think she just needs some time and space because somehow I want to tell her, look, you're projecting onto me your big emotions, but I'm here to hear what's up for you. But she doesn't really know what's up for her. So,
Doesn't have the responsibility language yet.
no, and I get that. So, what feels different about this than before is before I would blame her, I would be in her face about, like, look, you can't project on me. This isn't okay. And yes,
Even though I
that's
spent my whole life showing
doing
you
it
what it is to
too.
project on you.
Exactly. So I feel like I'm able to kind of hold the space for this. Yes, I react in the way of sometimes I remove myself and go to my room because I can't take it. It triggers a lot for me. I go deal with that. So what I'm getting at is this like beautiful space where it's just allowed to move. Where in the past, I would have set hard boundaries and said, this is bullshit. You can't act this way. I don't accept this. I just feel like I'm resourced enough to let it keep unfolding.
Yeah.
So she's struggling to work through. Well, I don't know if she's struggling, but she is working through a lot, and I'm doing my very best to hold the space for it.
And it sounds like you're doing a new type of and level of modeling, what that
Mm-hmm.
is. And, one of the things that might, if there's a space for an explanation, might be to just talk about the impact of how goals create stress. And the higher our stress level is, the more we'll tend to go into reaction. And that
Okay.
the core of forgiveness is the canceling of goals. And one of the reasons why it's so profoundly impactful is because it reduces stress levels.
Mm.
And, when I'm at that low level of stress, I'm going to, my inclination, my literally this automatic decision system kicks in, and the behaviors that my mind feeds me are the ones that I did in regard or experienced in regard to my power person that were low stress responses. And when I can recognize if I've got, well, Mom, I want you to do, and I want you, and I want, and I need, and this has to, and that has to, that's what's going to up her stress level and take her into what you modeled for her. And and this could be done as opposed to explaining it to her so she gets it, explaining it to her about how it's changing things for you. And it might be a less threatening way for her to understand that, oh, so I can cancel the goal for Mom to stay here right now. Her stress is up. She can go to the other room and walk away. And rather than me stewing in it's my fault, I can cancel that goal too. And, just layer by layer by layer between the two of you, get free of that old modeling, that old dynamic.
Mm.
And it's a process. So be gentle with yourself and gentle with her along the way. But that's awesome that that there's room for that shift to be happening. And then, has she done any still point work at all yet?
No, no, she's really been in resistance, and that's okay. Like, when I've offered, it's been pretty minimal what she's willing to accept right now. She's really overwhelmed with a sexual assault that happened and some big things that she's working
Oh, that's
through.
major.
So that's why she came home, was to, just be supported while she worked through that. And
That's her heart.
yeah,
Well, one of the things you might do, and this way it wouldn't be coming from you, would be to invite her, because that's part of what Jeannie's book is about, is healing sexual assault. And so you might work with, maybe read the book with her, see if she'd be open to that, and
yeah,
let Jeannie explain what she did to work through that. And she goes right into the worksheet and the breath, the generational patterns, it's all there. So that might be a safer way to do it.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that might
I
just
get
be.
chills. Yeah,
And then, if that is comfortable to her and she keys into it, then that might also be a way for her to be willing to, she knows Jeannie. So for her to personally connect through the radio show and, be willing to ask Jeannie questions and ask for support, because been there, done that.
hmm,
And, and recognizing you could share with her that literally when that happened to her as a teenager, it was from the age of 16 to 19, literally she said nothing until she met me 40 years later, 30 some years later. Nobody knew. Her brothers, her mother, her father, her friends. This one of the things that, we went and did a book signing for every month. Her school group her school reunion. Each month they get together and have a brunch. And, I was there with her. They asked her to do a book signing and to say a little bit about the book. But, I mean, she was going to school with these kids in high school at 16 when she got married and this started. And none of them knew. She told nobody for over 30 years. And so, the fact that she can open a personal conversation with Jeanie might just help to create support for her to get free of that and not have to carry that around for the decades to come.
Mhm.
So, know that we're here holding the space for her.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. That this feels so divinely timed. Thank you. That feels very right.
Yeah, well, I can get a sense of just really holding her in that space of safety and support. Where do you turn with that? It's
Mhm.
tough to do, and so from this distance, we're here holding her. And if she wants to connect more personally, we're also here to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm in love with you guys. I love it.
Breathing with you, breathing with her.
Yeah.
And, the fact that you've been through some of that, and I suspect Mom and Grandma too, that, we get all the ladies in the family system moving that stuff out and make an impact on the world. It's time for that insanity to be dissolved from the planet, and for both men and women to be respectful of themselves and each other, and know that we all deserve something different and that sort of thing.
Yeah. No kidding.
Breathing with you and holding you in our hearts, and her too.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Anyone else have another thought before we close out for today? And I see Jeanie put a mind shifter in there for you. It's safe and healing for me not to be perfect. What a radical thought.
You actually said it. I just typed it.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you.
You too.
All right, everybody. Have a blessed one, holding you in our hearts. Take care. Bye-bye.